Hello, my name is Maya Hunter, and me and my partner Carlisia Reed did our presentation on Chapter 1 Early Encounters with Race, Culture, Religion, and Patriotism. The first case will be Pierce versus Society of Sisters. What happened in this case? In this case, the Society of Sisters in Hill Military Academy sued the state of Oregon for its laws requiring students between the ages of 8 and 16 to go to public schools. The ruling was unconstitutional to force children to attend public schools. This case left an impact whereto it was now up to the parents to decide for their children's education. Homeschooling private schools were now an option. The second case was Ferritin versus Tokoshig, the birth of constitutional rights for students. The issue with this case was the territory of Hawaii's law making schools that teach foreign languages without a permit illegal violates the Due Process Clause of the Fifth and 14th Amendment. The points of view of Farrington were that Japanese language schools is not and cannot be confined to the speaking, reading, and writing of the Japanese language, but extends to many subjects. Tokashin's points of view were that the statute cannot be justified by an overriding public interest and is therefore an unreasonable infringement on property and liberty interests in violations of the Fifth Amendment. The Supreme Court's decision was that the Japanese parent has the right to direct the education of his own child without unreasonable restrictions. The Constitution protects him as well as those who speak another tongue. The third case is Cumming versus Richmond County Board of Education. The background of this case was that Cumming versus Board of Education of Richmond County was a U.S. Supreme Court case on December 18, 1899. The ruling for this case was the Supreme Court ruled that a Georgia County Board of Education did not violate any constitutional rights when it decided to discontinue high school services for 60 African American students in order to provide elementary education for 300 African American students. The fourth case would be Meyer versus Nebraska. The facts of this case is that a law was established in Nebraska, making it illegal to teach any language other than English to elementary school students. Meyer, a German teacher at the Lutheran school, was found guilty under this statute. Did the Nebraska statute violate the 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause? Yes. The Nebraska legislation violated the freedom guaranteed by the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. The court defined liberty as more than just being free from physical restraint. The state's desire to promote the expansion of a populace capable of participating in civic debates is acceptable, but the methods it used to achieve this goal were excessive. Questions to consider. Do you know what the Due Process Clause is? Do you think Nebraska legislation violated the 14th Amendment? What do you think? West Virginia. Facts of the case. The West Virginia Board of Education mandated that teachers and students salute the flag as an obligatory component of school activities in 1942. A Jehovah's Witness family's children refused to give the salute and were expelled from school as a result. Their parents risked punishment for contributing to juvenile delinquency, and they were threatened with reform schools for juvenile offenders. Questions to consider. Do you think the children's First Amendment rights were violated? How would you go about the situation if your child had to salute the flag? Did the compulsory flag salute for public school children violate the First Amendment? By a vote of 6-3, the Supreme Court overturned its ruling in Minersville School District versus Gabbatis, and declared it unlawful to require students in the public schools to salute the flag. The court determined that the First Amendment cannot require unanimity of view on any subject and that national symbols, like the flag, should not be afforded a level of deference that supersedes constitutional rights in a decision written by Robert Howard Jackson. In his view, attempting to foster unity by stifling or outlawing dissent was wrong and counterproductive. And this